This is the Nebraska Men's Basketball Radio Show with head coach Fred Hoiberg. Presented by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com.
Back out to Griesel. The fake, the drive, the kick. Vandemel's three. Got it! Another three ball by Vandemel. He's got two of those puppies this afternoon. Another CVA three. Huge goal. The kick out. Jenkins touch pass. Morton. Three ball no. Into the hands of Gary. Down the floor to Tominaga. Tominaga puts it up. Got it! Got it! Got it! Got it! We've got a 4-point game! Holy smokes! Keisei Tominaga with 12:07 to go. Griesel to Walker. Squares. Edie is on him. Cuts across the key. Backs him in. Throws one up and got it with the left hand. That's that hook from waist-high level. Griesel on the right sideline. Starts in. Cut off. Tominaga three ball on the way. Bang! Bang-a-ring! Tominaga ties this puppy at 56. Tominaga with 8 on the shot clock. Over to Wiltshire. 7. High post. It's Walker. Drives in on Edie again. Throws it up. And in! The first lead of the game! Derrick Walker gives Nebraska a 58-57 lead.
Here is your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Well, happy Monday, everybody, and welcome into our Nebraska men's basketball show. Boy, what a stretch the Huskers have been on. 4 of their last 5 in the month of February, 3 in a row, including an overtime win over Maryland last night. It has been fun. I'm Jessica Coody, joined with the head coach, Fred Hoiberg. Wow, did you get any sleep last night?
Not much. My son, Jack, was back for All-Star break. He's working for the San Antonio Spurs, and he had the early flight this morning, so I drew the short straw last night. And I got up at 4:45 and took him to the airport. So just went home, rewatched the game, and had some family over last night, had a good time. Sam actually came back to the house and did homework. I was proud of him for doing that. And then, I had the early morning with Jack, and then just, started my day from there. So, yeah, not a lot of sleep.
Jack picked a great weekend to be here, a good game to watch with Sam playing the way he played and a big win. Yeah,
he was pumped up, and he's been great for Sam. And the fact that he kind of walked in the same shoes and, went from a guy that wasn't in the rotation, was a walk-on, ended up earning a scholarship, had some meaningful minutes, and really just kind of got thrown into it, very similar to what happened with Sam. So to have somebody to talk to, they talked for, I think, an hour before Sam played that first game against Northwestern when I met with him on the plane after the injury to Emmanuel, which happened out of Penn State, that we may need him. And, threw him out there. I thought he was really good in his minutes against Northwestern, and he's just kind of continued to improve from there. And, the plays he made down the stretch, not only the steal at the end, but taking the charge on the first possession for Maryland in overtime and getting another good steal as well. And then just, little things that don't show up in the box score, like being in the right spot, being in his gap, and, shutting off a driving lane from somebody else and still being able to recover. Those are all huge plays. But, yeah, for Jack to be back for this one, I think was pretty special.
We're going to hear from Sam coming up later in the show in this hour at our final segment. And it was awesome getting to chat with him and hear his perspective on it. And it's been him. It's been a lot of guys that are just stepping into a role and embracing more opportunity, whatever it might be that they need to do to help contribute. It's got to be pretty special as a head coach when a team comes together the way this team has.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at the last few games, and CJ, it was CJ's night out in Rutgers. Casey's been on all of them. He's been unbelievable in this stretch. But CJ goes out and gets us off to a great start in Rutgers, makes his first 3 threes, hit 5 of them on the night, 5 for 9, and was terrific all game long. And then Wisconsin, we had a lot of great contributions from a lot of guys. Going back to Penn State, Jamarcus was phenomenal in that game and kind of sealed the deal with a 3 and then those 2 free throws at the end. And then Sam was great last night. And then the consistency of Derrick Walker and Sam Griesel. Every night those guys step on the floor, but really getting contributions for everybody. Blaze, in the Wisconsin game, playing 22 consecutive minutes in the second half and overtime. And, it was just terrific. Wilhelm, has given us good stretches. Denham has given us good minutes in those times as well. So it's just, kind of who we are right now. And, I'm rotating the 5th starting spot. We had a little consistency with CJ the last couple couple games. But, just the big message to our team is just be ready when your name is called and make a positive impact on the game when you get on the floor, and our guys, for the most part, have done that.
The wins over Wisconsin and Rutgers, you guys shot it well from outside. Against Maryland, not as much, 1 for 7 and 1 for 7. But Derrick Walker, boy, he took over, it seemed like, when he realized, hey, I've got to make something happen inside.
Well, yeah, it got pretty bleak out there when we got the foul, got into foul trouble. Sam picked up his third, Derrick picked up his third, and we went through that stretch where, we didn't have really the two guys we played through on the floor. And we withstood it. They went on a run, but it never got out of hand. I think 7 was the biggest the lead got. And then we got Sam back in there. Picked up his 4th right away, played through Derrick. But once we got a little bit of a rhythm back, we made some great plays down the stretch. And that's what it's all about, hanging in there. I did see our guys hanging their heads a little bit in the huddle. Just told them to snap out of it, find a way to get that swagger back, get what we were doing earlier that gave us success. And that's exactly what they did. But you're right about Derrick. He was absolutely phenomenal. We just continue to get the ball to him at the top of the floor, try to get Casey off his screen, get a split on the other side to occupy the other defenders, and really just let him go to work.
Dorothy Lynch, home style and light and lean dressing, endless flavorabilities. 402-413-2400 if you want to be a part of the show. You just talked about Casey. 5th straight game that he's scored 20 points. But that was a hard 20. He had to work really hard to get that 20 yesterday. Yeah, in 42 minutes, Casey played last night, and they were into his body the entire night. They had physical switches into him. He had a couple nice back cuts that loosened him up a little bit. He hit the huge 3 to start overtime. It's always good to get on the board first in that extra 5-minute session. And he did. He continues to cut very well, and he knows if he continues to cut like that, he's going to get open. He's got a great playmaker, usually with Derrick, with the ball in his hands when we go to that split type action. But yeah, our guys, Blaze had an unbelievable screen on the 3 that he hit, that first shot in overtime, and he's playing with such a high level of confidence. It's been fun. You see how much fun he's having out there on the floor and the joy that he brings, and I think our fans absolutely are just eating that up and embracing everything that he's doing for our guys out there. But it's been a fun 5-game stretch for Casey. We were joking on your TV show the other day. He has such an ability to ignite a crowd at home and silence a crowd on the road with some of his big shots that he knocks down.
Yeah, he did the little quiet crowd thing down at Rutgers the other night when they were going on a little run, and it was getting really loud in the rack, that's one of the craziest environments in our league. But for Casey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where he's playing. He's going to go out there and have the same approach every time he steps on the floor. And his role right now, obviously, is to score it. He has to. He's got to score it for us to give us a chance in games. And he's just been on such a great stretch.
Sam, who you're going to hear from, talk about this a little bit later, said that's the hardest guy he's ever had to guard in his entire life is Casey, because he's matched up with him when he's on the scout team, and just that he's so quick and he does move so well off the ball, and we can get locked in on how well he shoots it from the outside, but he really does do a lot of things outside of just shooting the long ball. Yeah, he's got these little tricks, and he can get into your body, even though he doesn't have the biggest frame. He still finds a way to get into the body, and then he's got such a great ability to back cut when they get on his high side, which they did a lot in the game last night, or shed the defender to create a little bit of space. He'll go up and set a flare screen, and sometimes he'll set it, sometimes he'll slip out of it, and that's what we talk about, is the randomness of the action, which is going to help him get open. And Sam's right. He is a very difficult cover. They did a great job on him last night, and like you said, he still ended up with 20, over 20 points. But yeah, he's just a really fun kid to coach. I had a good meeting with him today. He was in getting some treatment, got a massage on our off day. We'll get back to work tomorrow. But he's such a great kid, and I'm really happy for him with how he's playing. Had a question for you in the chat from Jake Polk. Coach Hoiberg, how special is it as a dad to coach your son at this high level and for him to play so well? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't lie. It's one of those things when you're in the heat of the battle, you get so caught up in the game, and all the different things that you have to try to do to put your guys in a position to be successful out there. But really, when it sinks in, like a game last night, for example, is when I went back and watched it. And, you just see all the little things that he does, and you see the guys, how they rally around him. And, the crowd, I think, really appreciates what Sam is doing out there right now because of his effort. And, the gratifying thing, for, I think, any coach is when
the kids put in the work and you see it pay off, it's really rewarding, and that's what Sam continued to do. He came in every night and got shots up, even though he wasn't in the rotation. And the reason you do that is for exactly the situation that arose with the injuries that thrust him into a rotation player. I certainly went through that in my career, and I can give these guys examples of being a guy that was a starter for a lot of my career, but I was also the last guy on the bench. But when my name was called, I was always ready, and I always kept myself prepared. And that's what Sam's done, and that's what I'm really proud of him for. Is he kept himself in great shape for this moment. It's hard to play 37 minutes. Especially when you're guarding the other team's point guard. And Jameer Young is one of the most difficult covers in our league, and Sam made him work for everything. He I think 6 for 16 is what he had. But the good thing is we kept him out of transition, and we kept him off the free throw line. Two things that really hurt us in that game at Maryland.
The McGowans were calling him Seatbelt Sam, and I know his teammates have all talked about how hard he is, how hard he plays on scout team, matching up with guys. And I was joking about this with him earlier, and I told him a couple weeks ago or a month or so ago when Emmanuel Banamel was going through his struggles offensively, and you were talking about how even when he's not scoring, he still makes such an impact on the game. And I asked you jokingly, well, would you still have that impact? And you said, no, my butt would be on the bench. Yeah. So look at Sam and how well he's playing defense and getting the steals and rebounding. How did you get a son that plays so well on the defentive end and rebounds?
I got it from his mom. He certainly did not get defense from me. But no, and that's, I'm going to give a shout out to all my scout team guys, because the work that they put in, they were great the last few days in helping prepare our guys that were going to be out there on the floor, and there's no glory for that. And you look at a guy, kid Jeff Grace, who played with my twins in AAU back in Chicago, started out at Arizona State, and we're very thankful for Jeff. He's cut from the same cloth as Sam. He just goes out there and works his butt off. He gets up underneath you, a really good defender, pushes the ball. Cale Jacobson has been awesome. I'm really excited for Cale when he does become eligible. I think he's got a chance to be a really good player. Ramel is getting some really good quality minutes, opportunity in the scout team. To go out there, we generally make him the best perimeter player on the other team. Henry Burt, has done a great job for us as well. He's got good size and gives a good look on the glass. He goes after the ball very well. And then Oleg, has really embraced that role, even though it's probably not the one that he wants. He'd love to be out there on the floor. He's had a couple opportunities and done well when he's been out there. We don't know how long Blaze is going to be out right now with the ankle. He did twist it pretty good. He will not practice tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get him back right just because of how valuable he is. But, Oleg, by playing on the scout team, that keeps him ready and keeps his timing for when his name is called, which will come again this season.
Adam from Lions sent a text in on our text line. Love this team, Coach. This is the epitome of Husker Nation. Thank you. And then asked, have you ever had to pull back, tell Casey to pull back on any of his celebrations on the court?
Yes, believe me, we watch it on film and we talk about it. But the one thing I don't want to do is take away his passion. It's really what makes him special. And he's one of those kids that has such a joy and a love for the game, and I think it's what makes him such a popular player with the fans and also with his teammates. And probably a guy that is not very popular with the people he plays against, and certainly the opposing crowds when we're on the road. But it's what makes him who he is. The one Penn State where he was waving his arms up and down and gave up a three to Funk on the next possession. Those are the ones that bother you and that can't happen. He's doing better. I think you see his improvement in the defensive end for sure from where he was a year ago, and still has room to grow. There's no doubt about it. But he's certainly better this year than he was a year ago. He's
no doubt a fan favorite. You could tell by the way fans react to him in the starting lineup. Jim in Columbus said, "What a game! What a game! What a team! Congratulations to the players and coaches. What a game to witness! So proud of you." And then had also a text here. Does Fred ever go back and listen to the radio calls of Kent?
I love hearing the calls from Kent. In fact, when I watch the game, I a lot of times look for his reaction and what he does. And when I was doing my post-game radio show, I think there was a break in between the segments, and Jake, he was rubbing his shoulder. He said Ken almost pulled his arm out of socket on one of those late plays. But yeah, I just love Kent's passion. He's the absolute best, and he's fun to talk with on the road, just hear stories from, the old glory days, with the football team when he was calling Husker games, and also just all the years that he's called on the basketball court. But, yeah, I just absolutely love the guy, and, hopefully we keep playing well for him.
You typically have to check on him after the game because he's had his watch went off last year with his heart getting too excited. Well,
we were at Wisconsin, and his alarm went off and said, "Do you need emergency? Is there an emergency? Do you need help?" And it's just the passion that he has. The other thing is he stands up. I think the story was out there that he got flipped off. Somebody walked by him and gave him the double bird at Rutgers, and they put them right in the middle of the fans. Normally they're on the press row or the scorer's table, but at Rutgers they put him right up there with the fans. So somebody did not appreciate Ket's enthusiasm very much, and I think he loved it. He loved it that he got under the skin. Yeah.
I think he embraces it for sure. All right, got to work in our first break here on our Nebraska Men's Basketball Show. Keep those texts rolling in on our Sports Nightly hotline, which is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Back with more with Coach Hoiberg coming up right after this.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
The Lead Center for Performing Arts is celebrating 33 years of bringing the world's top artists to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln campus. Upcoming shows include Hamilton, Yo-Yo Ma, American Ballet Theater, and Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. Get tickets at leadcenter.org.
Super move, but misses a three-footer. And the rebound, Izzy Bourne dribbles out of a double team. Kroll, top of the key, three! You betcha! Off the assist from Izzy Bourne.
Hey Husker fans, on Wednesday, join Matt Coatney and Jeff Griesch on the HRN as the women's basketball team matches up with Illinois. Coverage begins at 6:45 p.m. following an abbreviated edition of Sports Nightly. Tune in to your local affiliates or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red!
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Bank of the West is offering the first checking account designed for climate action. It gives back 1% of the account's net revenue to the planet at no cost to you. Shows you the estimated carbon impact of debit card purchases. And there's no minimum balance required. Learn more at bankofthewest.com/1%. Additional conditions apply. Member FDIC.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns-for-teachers.
Every day, Central Valley Ag helps ranchers give their herds the nutrition they need to deliver healthy calves. CVA's Power Cow tubs are fortified to provide complete nutrition while protecting your bottom line. With supplements like Biomoss, Hamafirm, or Avela-4. Learn more online at cvacoop.com. Register to win 2 3015 Power Cow tubs valued at over $300. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. Visit us at the Nebraska Cattlemen's Classic.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. As we welcome you back to our Nebraska men's basketball show. I'm Jessica Coody with head coach Fred Hoiberg. Well, how about that crowd yesterday? I mean, I know it was loud against Wisconsin, but boy, it was at time deafening yesterday.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, and we're so thankful that we've had the great support from our fans, and we hope they're enjoying this team and everything that they're all about, just because of their toughness and their work ethic and everything that they're doing. I know they see obviously what's going on the floor, but I just can tell you from being around these guys from day one when we put this group together, I knew it would be an easy group to pull for. And, I think our fans are showing that and showing the appreciation to our guys. And, it's appreciated by, coaches, the players, and, the lift that they gave us when we were going through that lull yesterday when Derrick and Sam got in foul trouble. That really kind of kept us going. Once we took the lid off and hit a bucket, it really got loud in there again. But, even when we were going through that tough stretch, they were still right there, still with us, pulling us through that tough time. And then, once we did start getting back in that rhythm, yeah, like you said, it was deafening.
I would not want to be a referee making the wrong call in front of Husker Nation.
Yeah.
They got after the refs a little bit yesterday.
Yeah. And you go back and watch, and I thought actually that those guys did a good job, and it's one of those things that's a hard. I don't know why anybody would get into that profession.
I know, right?
But yeah, I mean they have a hard job, reffing this quality of athlete. NBA goes up even a different level, but I thought again, generally when you go back, you said shoot, they were right. They were actually right on that one.
Husker Nation just has your back. I mean, every call that goes against the Huskers is the wrong call.
Yeah,
in
you
PBA.
Should see Purdue. It's and Allen Fieldhouse. They've never committed a foul there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I did want to ask you about your coaching staff, because man, what a job that whole group has done, because with all the changes in the lineup, and you just talked about different lineups and you're doing different things, just how great of a job has that group done helping this team get ready to play night in and night out? Yeah,
it's been an awesome staff. I'm really pleased with with everybody and the jobs that they're doing, and the roles that have given out. Nate Lenzer and I would go all the way back to Iowa State, and Nate came in as a grad assistant, and then hired him full time. And he's just been absolutely incredible. And I brought him with Chicago with me. He was the head coach of the inaugural season of the Windy City Bulls. And, he's really been instrumental in our defense. And, he's just absolutely been phenomenal for us. I don't know if you see him over there on the sideline, but he's very animated and, always up calling coverages and that type of thing. But, yeah, he's just been terrific. And then Adam Howard, who we brought on this year as well. Again, really good. He's been great in the zone. You know, it's really the thing, you know, that he's worked for a lot of coaches that play that matchup type zone. We're playing 3 different zones right now just to try to steal possessions with the makeup of our roster. But just love Adam, everything he's bringing, very active in the recruiting world, which will get very busy here in the next month. Ernie Ziegler, getting a guy of that quality as late as we did. You know, just has head coaching experience. He was out in L.A. a couple days ago, got back, you know, pretty much the night before the game, came to our alumni dinner, and then, you know, shows up and does a great job in helping me with a lot of situational stuff during the games. Matt Holt, video guy who's been with me, you know, since I got here. He was with Tim Miles. Tim told me how great he was, and, you know, he's absolutely correct on that. He's one of the best I've worked with. Luca Virgilio, another guy I've been with since I've been here. Director of Ops, is as organized a person as I've ever been around. But really everybody, our GAs, Payton and Michael Banya, who we call Kenny Banya because of the Seinfeld, if you're a Seinfeld fan. But those guys, you know, the work they put in, you know, behind the scenes, those guys, you know, are as active as anybody, and they can rebound for our players too. You know, when you're under the hours limit and on off days where we can't touch them. Cheryl does such a great job in our front desk, organizing everything. But, you know, it really is a fun staff to be around. Emmanuel Tommy, player development as well. So I hope I didn't forget anybody. But yeah, it's been a great staff to work with for sure.
What goes into, I mean, because after you have the 2 guys go down and you're changing things up and you only had 9 scholarship players at once, I mean, how did you guys go about attacking, okay, this is what we're going to do against this team, and did it change from night to night?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's been like coaching a completely different team. You know, you go from the identity of a defensive, grinded out type of team, which we had some really good wins with that over Creighton and Iowa, you know, most specifically, and a couple really good ones in the non-conference. And, you know, now all of a sudden your 2 guys that really help build that identity are out of the lineup. Your 2 best defenders out there, you know, certainly on the perimeter, and the versatility of those guys, you know, being able to play different coverages. And then we had to add the zone. You know, we didn't play much zone before those 2 guys went down. So to teach that in the middle of a season and then change the system, you know, to more of a 5-out, you know, type spread offense, and letting Derrick handle the ball with Emmanuel, you know, really our second playmaker, ball handler out of the lineup. We just kind of adjusted on the fly, and our guys bought into it, and you know, and I think it's paying off.
I asked Ernie Ziegler this when he was on his show a few weeks ago, but where does Derrick Walker rank among the best passing big men that you've been around? Yeah, he's as good as I've certainly coached, and I've had some good ones. That actually may not be Royce White. Actually, was probably the best. He was unbelievable. You know, we put the ball in his hands. You know, he was a 6'8", 260-pound freight train coming down the floor. We had shooters spread all around him. And George Niang was a great passer as well. But you know what Derrick does with the ball, you know, it's very important to the system that we run, is to have a front court playmaker, you know, that can initiate your offense. And you know, I think you saw some of the struggles with the pressure early in the season when Derrick wasn't in the lineup. And, you know, we really struggled to have that pressure release when we were getting heated up in the backcourt especially. So, you know, to have Derrick back in there, not only to handle the ball when we are getting pressed, but also, you know, to be able to make plays. And that's where Casey, I think, has really benefited from playing with a guy like Derrick. All of our guys, CJ's had some really good cuts to the basket as well, Jamarcus, you know, everybody. So Derrick, he's a fun guy to play with. He's so unselfish. At times he's getting a little bit loose with it, especially the last week, but he's cleaned that up some. And, you know, his assist numbers, he's actually leading us in Big Ten games in assists, and that's pretty rare for a guy that plays mostly at the 5 to do that. How about the way you stepped up and knocked down free throws yesterday?
9 for 11, yeah, and 19 for 25, I believe, overall. And, you know, we won a game at the line, and there's not too many times that we can say that this year. So, yeah, just, you know, for Derrick to step up in an overtime game, obviously every one of those is important.
Blaze Cada, you mentioned he went down last night, but 8 rebounds, a steal, a block. He had a big charge, which Derrick mentioned in his post-game press conference that he's the best charge taker on the team. What's gone into that for him? Is that something you saw in him before while you were recruiting him? Well, we knew he was a good defender. You know, what he's really shown is just he's always in the right spot. And when you are a guy that takes as many charges as Blaze does, it just shows the basketball IQ that you have on that end of the floor.
He's a good one-on-one post defender. That's what has allowed us to go more one-on-one as the game goes on. We generally start with a double team on the post just really to protect Derrick. We can't afford Derrick getting in any type of foul trouble. But as the game goes on, when we get Derrick and Blaze out there together, we generally switch to a one-on-one solo type defensive concept with those two guys guarding bigger players. So, it's allowed us to stay closer to shooters, as the game goes on. But, yeah, Blaze has really good versatility defensively. He's got great feet and, can switch onto a perimeter guy. But how he gets himself, first of all, outside the restricted area to draw those charges has been as Derrick said, it's as good as I've been around for a big guy to step in there and take charges. Most big guys try to block shots, but Blaze, he'll get in there and take charges.
The high ankle sprain, I know, is just so frustrating, but, for him to go in and out and to have such issues trying to get back healthy and then to have some flashes, how has he been handling all of this? Because I got to imagine it's got to be frustrating at times.
Yeah, it has been, but he's never complained. He has not complained one time this entire season, and it's what you want in your team. You're going to go through different roles, have highs and lows over the course of the season, and Blaze has really stayed even through it all. And there is a language barrier with Blaze. There's no doubt about that. Emmanuel helped him with that. French was his second language growing up. So Emmanuel, when we were running a play, could get him into an action because he spoke a language that Blaze was more familiar with. But it's gotten better, and we've tried to simplify, and we're using a lot more hand signals when he's out there on the floor. But defensively, he's you don't need that. He get us into a coverage. He's a great communicator, and that's really what he has hung his hat on this year. He is a good low post player. We just haven't had a lot of that this year because of the timing and the injury and how he's been in and out of the lineup.
You had talked about CJ earlier and the job they did at Rutgers, but boy, when you got Casey and CJ both shooting it the way they did at Rutgers, how challenging is that for an opposing defense?
Yeah, it is challenging. I thought we really attacked their press and got good looks on the back end of it. And, that was one thing I thought we did a great job of last night as well. Maryland is a team that gets up and presses and runs and jumps. And they were a little reluctant, I think, because of how well we did on the back end of that press against Rutgers. But when those two guys are hitting shots, yeah, we're going to generally have a pretty good chance to win.
All right, got to work in another break. Got one final segment here with Coach Hoiberg, and then we're going to hear from Sam Hoiberg after his big steal, big game yesterday. Nebraska 811 says go dig red. Before you dig, always click or call 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Back with more with Coach Hoiberg coming up right after this.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
You ain't seen nothing. This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. Like a Ford F-150 or the all-new Ford Super Duty. Or check out Ford Maverick and Ford Ranger pickups. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. There's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. Based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. One final quick segment here with Fred Hoiberg here on our Nebraska Men's Basketball Show. Then we're going to hear from Sam Hoiberg coming up. Had a big game yesterday. Coach had a question here on your text, on the text line, that asked if you would ever consider playing a game in Omaha at the CHI Center or at Baxter, not involving Creighton.
You know what? We discuss a lot of things with our schedule, and you know, right now our schedule's full for next year. But that is something that we will always look at, and we might be open to. We've talked about playing maybe at different places across the state. You know, we have such a great home crowd at PBA, and you know, it's been absolutely phenomenal this year. But yeah, we're always looking at unique opportunities like that, so we'll see where it goes.
And Mark in Omaha asked, Coach, do you feel like you're a better coach than you were a few years ago?
You know, it's a good question. I think, you know, when I go back over the course of my career, you know, we had obviously great teams at Iowa State, and, you know, had some pretty unique teams that I think we did some kind of fun things with just the different styles and systems that we played. You were at Oklahoma during a lot of those years, and we were playing against those great teams, and, you know, had a lot of success there. You know, go to Chicago and just, you know, had a lot of really kind of unfortunate things happen there with leading the league in injuries my first year and missed the playoffs by a game. Getting into the playoffs the second year and, you know, losing Rondo, who was our advantage after being up 2-0 on the Celtics. So we did some really good things, I thought, there, and with our young group that we had there as well. So you always grow. I think every year you're in this business, you do improve, you get better, you learn. you steal. We're all thieves, so we all try to find things from other great coaches that you try to apply to your system based on the talent of your players. I do think all of us in this profession, we get better as time goes on. We do grow, as we continue to build it. But, the fun thing with this team that we have is just, the identity that we've created with them, the culture that we've built, and hopefully we can continue to build on that.
All right, last one for you. I mean, boy, what a run. And I know you're taking it one game at a time, and it's been fun, and Husker fans love it. But what's this week look like, being that you're off until Saturday, and what goes into getting that win on Saturday?
Yeah, we'll have mostly a skill day tomorrow. We're going to watch it. We always have a cleanup edit on film that we will watch tomorrow. We'll practice in the mornings, so we'll get the guys in there, and we'll do a mostly skill type workout tomorrow. Guys will have a good lift session with Kurt Joseph, who's terrific in the weight room. Big day tomorrow is continue to get their bodies right after a lot of guys had really high loads after the game the other day, and then we'll start putting in the game plan on Wednesday. Get 3 days to prepare for Minnesota on Saturday.
All right, Coach, appreciate it. Congratulations. It's been fun to watch. I know Husker fans have loved it, and let's keep it rolling.
Yep, thank you, Jessica. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to let Coach Hoiberg get out of here. And up next, you're going to hear from Sam Hoiberg. So keep it right here. Coming up next, and buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Looking for a car buying experience tailored to you? Start with Woodhouse, a trusted partner for automotive needs and a proud member of the Nebraska community. With 18 brands and 21 sales and service locations, our dedicated Woodhouse team is ready to provide you a convenient and seamless transaction from anywhere. Whether purchasing, selling, or servicing, experience the difference with Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra. The perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. 402-413-2400 if you want to be a part of the show. Final segment here of this hour. Still got a full other hour left coming up from the 7 to 8 o'clock hour. Greg Sharpe going to join us on the other side of this one. But did want to hear from Sam Hoiberg, who has been one of those guys that's really stepped up stepped into a bigger role and has been making huge contributions yesterday. We've talked a lot about it. Had the big steal in overtime and the lay-in, and 9 points, 6 rebounds, some massive rebounds when the team absolutely had to have it. Played 37 minutes, said it was the most minutes he's ever played in his career. So here is a sit-down with Sam Hoiberg following yesterday's win. How did yesterday feel?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been dreaming of my whole life, is to be in those situations. So I kind of just had to take a step back today just to look at it from the outside, and it feels even better looking at it from that angle.
You've been a part of a lot of basketball teams throughout your life. You've been around basketball your whole life. How much fun is this team this year?
Yeah, this is definitely the most fun I've had playing basketball. I mean, these guys we're all really close. We all cheer for each other. There's no jealousy or any of that. So just having that great culture has made it all the more fun, and now that we're having success, hopefully we can continue it and just keep having more fun.
I know it's been documented that, you know, it was on the way back from Penn State, I believe, when Manuel went down and Coach said, hey, we're going to need you. But what made you ready for that? What made you confident that you could step into that role? Yeah,
I mean, it's all been about the work that I put in all season, all last year. I knew that I wanted to put myself in a position where I'd be ready if my name was called. So it was all that preparation. I knew I was ready to play skill-wise. I was good enough physically. And then it was all about mental preparation from there. Talked to my brothers a lot. Jack, who helped me a ton, I called him for probably about an hour before the Northwestern game. And he'd been in that same situation, so he gave me some tips. And I just thought about it like, I've dreamed about this, being in this situation my whole life. I can't look back on it after being, like, say I played scared and didn't do well and then was thrown back out of the rotation. I couldn't go out there and play bad, so I knew that I just had to play with no pressure on me, so got that out of my head and played pretty well.
Well, we heard Derrick say last night how hard you go in practice. Too hard sometimes. They get mad at you, right? And then we heard the McGowans in their video calling you Seatbelt Sam. So how did you get that nickname? Tell us about what your approach was to practice to have that kind of respect from these guys.
That nickname is new. I've never heard that before last night. But, yeah, I mean, when I was playing on the scout team, one of my goals is to get the guys pissed off by playing really hard on defense and annoying them, making them turn the ball over, and that's what I did quite a bit. So, and our scout team guys are still doing that, so I think those guys will be ready if they get their name called. But, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to do whatever I could to put myself in a position to play, and I knew that if I played as hard as I could in practice, it would translate. I didn't want to just not play full in practice, and then I wouldn't get much out of it. Scout team really helped me develop as a player, and just that the way of playing hard, if you keep doing that, you're going to do it in a game. If you do it in practice, you'll do it in a game. So, yeah, just working hard in practice, it's translated well for me.
Okay, overtime, and, well, just some of the bigger moments that we were talking before we started recording about how loud it was inside Pinnacle Bank Arena, but was there a couple different moments in the win over Maryland that you were like, oh, wow, this is pretty crazy in here?
Yeah, the K-State 3 at the start of overtime, it sounded like thunder in there. That was incredible. And I feel like I couldn't really take it in when I got that steal because I was just so focused on the game at that point that I couldn't take in the crowd noise or anything. But I think when Young was bringing the ball down after I got the steal and I was getting ready to play defense, it was crazy loud, and I knew that would throw them off too, so that was really good.
What's going through your mind when you get that steal? Don't miss the layup?
I wasn't thinking about missing because my shoe, it kind of rolled a little bit it almost felt like my foot was going to pop out of the shoe, so I was more worried about my shoe breaking than missing the layup. And people told me I should have dunked it. I had absolutely zero thought in my mind to dunk that. So, yeah, just lay it in and get the 2 points.
Did you realize at that moment, like, I mean, you get the steal, how big that moment was to make that play at that moment?
Honestly, not really. I didn't really click until I saw we were up 3 with like 25 seconds left or something. That's when it kind of clicked. But when I was doing it, it just felt like a normal fast break layup.
Casey, you mentioned his big 3 and the way he's just playing out of his mind, which he had to work very hard for his 20 yesterday, but 5 straight 20-point games. What's gone into his offensive explosion here over these last 5 games?
Just opportunity, I think. With the guys going down, he's got way more reign to be the main focal point in this offense with Derrick, and he's just thrived in it. And it doesn't surprise me, or you can ask any of the other guys, that they're not surprised by how Casey is performing. We wouldn't consider him to be playing out of his mind because we see this in practice all the time. He's just that talented offensively. So
I'm sure you had to match up with him a time or two in practice, right?
yeah, he's the hardest person I've ever had to guard.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
He moves so good off the ball. I mean, he'll just give you a little shove to start running off a screen, and you chase him, and then you're late, and then he's already doing something to get open. So just his ability to create shots and move off the ball, it just makes it super hard to guard.
He's so well liked in the locker room. Why is that?
Oh, he's just got a great personality. He's always happy, always smiling, always cracking jokes, especially with Oleg. And then he's just you don't expect a guy that looks like him to go out there and drop 30 on Big Ten teams, and then he does it, and he has so much fun doing it. But when he doesn't act big time or anything. He's just having fun. So that's what makes him so likable.
All right, your rebounding yesterday was absolutely had to have it. It was a time when Maryland was starting to out-rebound, and then you were the guy down there pulling down the boards. Did you realize, okay, I gotta provide that spark at that point?
Yeah, so we actually looked at these practice stats probably a week and a half ago. We looked at our rebounding numbers, and I was middle of the pack on the team, and I was thinking I think I had 6 the first game, so that was pretty good, and then I kind of didn't get as many the next few games, and I thought I could definitely get more boards if I just look to get it more, and that's what I was doing yesterday. I told myself before the game even that I was going to try to attack the board, so hopefully I can keep getting rebounds like that.
I mentioned it earlier, it's not just been you, it's been everybody kind of doing their part, doing whatever is needed any given night. How cool has that been to be a part of that, where it's you come together? There are certain basketball teams where something special happens, and I feel like that's kind of what's happened with this team, and it's a lot of it was that just everybody's just doing their part, whatever is needed. So how cool is it to be a part of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a good feeling when you have so many people that can contribute and they're all doing it. Like, I don't even think we played to our best ability last night, and we're still able to grind out that win. So knowing that we can do it collectively, even if we're not playing our best, it builds our confidence for sure. And then we know if we play really well, it's going to be really hard to beat us. So
really enjoyed chatting with Sam Hoiberg there. That was a small portion of the full conversation that we had earlier today. I'll be posting on our podcast platforms after the show tonight, so you can hear the full conversation wherever you listen on YouTube as well. But Andrew, back there producing the show for us, you said that there's a funny nickname that Kent and Jake were calling him after the game.
In post-game, they decided that he needs to have something because of how dynamic he's been. We got to have something. Like you said, with Bryce and Trey making seatbelt Sam, they said, what are we going to do to one-up him? And they decided they couldn't do the mayor for Fred. They decided to name him the Governor. So the new nickname for Sam from the HRN is the Governor. And it was such a fun time working with KP and Jake. These guys, I can feel the energy from Memorial Stadium, from PBA when I'm working in here. I could hear that place erupt, and it was so much fun, and it's amazing. And the boys are having a good streak right now, and they just need to keep it up.
The Governor is higher than the mayor, so Jake and Kent are saying that Sam's a bigger deal than the mayor.
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying right now.
All right, well, we had a couple questions about Kent. I mean, what was he like on the air? I didn't hear it because I was at the game. What was he like?
He had so much energy. I swear, Jake said that at one point he thought he was going to take his arm off him, and it was so fun. And KP at one point had a call where he said, I think I'm going to pass out. And I could see KP doing that. His alarm on his phone ran out the past 2 games. I think his emergency alarm went off on his watch. So it's been so fun. And then the double bird scene, that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Stories on stories. We'll talk to you a little bit more about that here coming up in hour number 2. We got lots to get to. Full other hour coming up here next. Greg Sharpe going to join us on the other side of this break. We're going to hear from Derrick Walker as well, one of the stars of yesterday's win as well. Still lots to get to. Going to recap a little bit of the Husker baseball weekend, so keep it right here. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly headed your way. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students in Nebraska's Rake School of Computer Science and Management created software that is saving a Nebraska e-commerce company 34,000 hours of work per year. Created by a group of 5 Rake School students for their Design Studio capstone project, this software is one of 300 real-world software solutions created by Rake School students.
Woodhouse, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Blair make shopping for your next vehicle simple. We are committed to providing a car buying experience that will exceed your expectations. Plus, our extensive lineup of new Ram trucks and 2023 Jeep SUVs, like the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee and new Ram 1500, will ensure we have a vehicle that will enhance your everyday drive. Shop during the President's Day sales event going on now. Online at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter agents Jeff Bond or Reed Duvall in Lincoln for a free insurance review.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Coody. Tonight's sports ticker brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Nebraska Rifle has qualified for the 2023 NCAA Championships. The 8-team field announced by the NCAA earlier this afternoon. The 7th-ranked Huskers will make the program's 19th overall appearance coming up on March 10th and 11th. Husker baseball wrapped up a 4-game opening series in a tie earlier today, ending in a 16-16 tie after giving up 6 runs in the bottom of the 7th. The Huskers wrapped up the weekend 0-3-1. Nebraska back in action on Friday at South Alabama. The newest AP Top 25 men's basketball poll is out in the Big Ten now with 3 teams ranked. Northwestern entering the top 25 this week in at 21. Indiana in at 17. Purdue drops to 5. Also to note, Creighton ranked 19th. A couple of women's basketball games in action tonight. A top 25 matchup with number 16 Ohio State leading number 12 Michigan at Michigan 41-37 at the half. Wisconsin up 11 on Rutgers in the third. One men's hoops matchup, Minnesota at Illinois, 8 o'clock, that one on BTN. Big Ten baseball scores to pass along. New Mexico beats Minnesota 4-3 in 12 innings. Ohio State beats UConn 10-5, and Michigan State with a 7-1 win over Grand Canyon. Our sports ticker is presented by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now get ready for another hour of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Shorter Heidi for 3, you betcha. Top of the key off the assistant show.
4 seconds on the clock. Jamarcus Lawrence got it! Bang!
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. That was a fun hour with Fred Hoiberg there, hour number 1. And now joining us from beautiful San Diego. It actually kind of felt like San Diego weather here today, by the way. Greg Sharpe joining us via Airlink. Well, tough one today. Man, I thought they were going to come out of there with a win and head back to Lincoln, at least in the win column today.
I'd really like to just talk about Husker basketball. Can you just do that?
We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. Absolutely.
What a great weekend for them, and congratulations. I'm just so happy for Coach Hoiberg and the staff and the way they've been able to do that. And, you know, it's remarkable, Jessica. You get those big injuries to Emmanuel and Juwan, and your team can go one of two directions. You can either just kind of feel sorry for yourself and kind of fade into the distance, or you figure it out. And they figured it out, and you kind of wonder, would they be having the success if they didn't have the injuries? Because they have found kind of a secret sauce, and it has been so much fun to watch. But a really rough weekend out here in San Diego for the Huskers. This is my 16th season of calling Husker baseball, and I think it's probably the worst weekend I've had of calling Husker baseball. It was a really, really depressing couple of days.
Well, but you know me, I'm positive Polly. So what were the positives? Were there some positives you could take away?
Yeah, there were, and that's the weird thing. I'm sitting here tonight trying to process what just happened. Is, you know, probably some people heard this afternoon Nebraska needed 3 outs to win a game, and they had a 6-run lead and ended up with a tie. What I did feel like leaving the weekend is that they're going to be much better offensively than they were last year. They've got some thump in the lineup, and Dylan Carey appears to be the real deal. The freshman from Colorado might be named tomorrow the Big Ten Freshman of the Week. He was phenomenal, not only with the bat, but did really well with the glove at third base, and looks like he's a star in the making. And I think they've got with the Max Andersons and the Josh Cairns and some of those guys, Charlie Fisher, another new addition to the lineup, the ability, I think, to be a good offensive team. They're going to have to figure some stuff out on the mound. But this was a rough weekend and disappointing from the standpoint that Will Bolt is the gritty, beats pretty type of coach, and he played that way in Nebraska when he was on teams that went to the College World Series. And you think this team would kind of follow his example, and they didn't this weekend. Whenever somebody needed to make a play, get an out, get a big hit, that didn't happen, and I know it's driving him absolutely insane.
I know not the start everybody wanted, but it was just week or series number 1, the first opening weekend. So can you talk Husker Nation off the ledge a little bit?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Baseball's such a marathon because you're going to play 55 games. So you've got a long way to go with this thing. And this was 4 games, and you've got a chance to kind of turn this thing around next week when they go to Mobile to play South Alabama. And so that's the thing. You just hope you see better progress moving forward. The guys are going to have a long flight home. They were able to get out tonight on a commercial flight. They've got a long flight back and then head down to Alabama to play again on Friday. And so I think, there'll be a lot of soul searching done by the coaches about, okay, where do we need to move these chess pieces? And as I referenced earlier in the segment, we've seen Fred Hoiberg, right, move those chess pieces around and fit what needs to happen to get success out of a group. And that's where coaching comes in. You deal with what you have, you play to your strengths, and you figure out what you do well and what you don't. You try to hide or massage. And I think that's now the challenge for Will Bolt and the staff is figure out how do you kind of figure this thing out and make it work. But again, on the offensive side, I think this will be a team that can score some runs throughout the year.
And I think, Coach Bolt and staff and team will be the first to say they got to close out games when they have a lead. But San Diego's a good baseball team, right?
They are. They won the West Coast Conference tournament last year. They went up to the Corvallis Regional, beat Vandy in their first game of the NCAA tournament last year. They got some guys back from that team, and and they're picked second in the West Coast Conference. This is a good team, and these were good competitive games. I mean, Saturday night it was tied 3-3 going to the bottom of the 8th. Friday night they lose 7-3, but it was a 4-3 game in the bottom of the 8th. They give up 3 runs, and you kind of see a pattern here. The bullpen did not come through, and as a pitching staff, Nebraska threw 31 in the 3rd innings. They walked 20, and they hit 9 batters. You've got to clean that up, and so I think that's the challenge in the next couple of days is figure out who do we want to put in certain roles and moving forward. But this was a pretty good test. And it wasn't like these were blowout games. Yesterday was 10-9. Today ends in a tie. You're a run away from maybe coming out of here with a split, but a pretty dejected group headed into the airport a few hours ago.
Well, got a text on the text line from Art in Los Angeles. Jessica, I went to the baseball game, even though we did not win yesterday. Please tell Greg, the genius, meeting him was the highlight of my day. Go Big Red.
Yeah, it was great to see Art. He came in and found me in the booth, and we talked, took some pictures together, and what a great guy. He did say he's still trying to win that lottery so that he can get Andrew's bike helmet or scooter helmet made, and so we appreciate that. It was great to see him. And Jessica, another real positive from the weekend, there were a lot of Husker fans in attendance. I think there were at least 400 or 500 fans in the crowd every day rooting on the Huskers. There's a lot of Nebraskans that live in Southern California and made their way, like Art, down and at least caught a game over the weekend. And I think that's big moving forward with the additions of UCLA and USC to the conference. We're going to be out here a lot with all of our sports. I think it's going to be fun for the fans who have migrated out here to Southern California to come watch the Huskers play in everything, whether it be volleyball, football, basketball, whatever case may be. And again, we are on the San Diego campus. I noticed during the game today, members of the San Diego volleyball team made their way into the game and watched for a few innings. That's a volleyball team that made the Final Four this year up in Omaha. And Ani Evans, who is in the transfer portal, has decided to become a Torero. So I don't know that Ani, she might have been there. I didn't look real close, so she might have been at the game today, but some ties to that area. But great to see a lot of Husker fans at the games over the weekend.
You could hear them in the broadcast when you guys are calling the game. Speaking of fans showing up and showing out, this weekend, both for men's and women's basketball games, broke the record that, we had set out to sell it out. Didn't quite get there, but still broke an attendance record, which was huge, over 14,000 people. It was unbelievable to see PBA filled like it was for the women's basketball game, and then it was absolutely deafening at times yesterday. It was incredible to see.
Yeah, I heard Coach Hoiberg really credit the crowd, and it speaks to the passion of Husker Nation to do that. And I also thought, particularly with the women's game on Saturday, I love the fact that Matt Rural and a lot of Husker football players were there. I think the entire team was at the game on Saturday. I saw a lot of social media Twitter handles of guys taking pictures at the game and saying they were heading out to support the Husker women's basketball team. So that's really cool. And I think you bumped into Matt Rural after the men's game yesterday. I love the fact that he has wrapped his arms around Husker sports, and he conveys that onto his team to get out and support fellow athletes. I think Matt Rule might have even been at the wrestling duel yesterday, which was senior day for the Huskers against Arizona State. That's so impressive. And how can you not just feel good about Matt Rule and him wrapping his arms around all the Husker sports and making his guys get out there and go to gymnastics meets or basketball games or Husker or wrestling contests? That was really fun to see. And again, I think we're preaching to the choir tonight, but Husker Nation does support these programs, and it's we shouldn't take that for granted.
He took his daughters to the wrestling and men's basketball yesterday, and at one point they put him on the big screen, and he was leaning over the rail, just like hyping up, and the crowd just went absolutely bonkers. And then, yeah, you're going to see here in a little bit, in a few minutes, we got Derrick Walker coming up. He actually interrupts my interview to go congratulate Derrick Walker, but Greg, you should have seen it. It was like the starting offensive line was on the front row behind the Iowa goal, and the marketing gave them the signs to hold up, you know, when they were shooting the free throws. And then you got Big Teddy Prohaska over there, like, you know, trying to wave and make them miss the free throws. They were trolling Caitlin Clark. It was awesome. It was so much fun to see them down there, and it looked like they were having a good time. I would not want to be playing basketball with that offensive line sitting right there in the front row, though.
That's great. Let's hope Teddy doesn't hurt himself. We need him healthy, right? And it's had problems with that the last couple of years. But again, how about, you and I haven't even talked about this, how about seeing that football team out on the turf at Memorial Stadium last week and doing drills and all that snow? That was amazing to see them do that last week. So really encouraged by that. I do know we're going to hear from a couple of the coaches again on Wednesday. We'll have some clips of that on Wednesday night show for everybody. But we're not that far off from the spring practices beginning, but what a fun weekend around. And congratulations, by the way, to Mark Manning's group as they get another dual victory over Arizona State. Looks like they're kind of getting ramped up and ready for some big things coming up here in March.
Yeah, there were some big moments there. Going back to the working out on the snow, I was joking the other night that when I walked over to Husker Vision in the morning, I didn't realize I wasn't on social media, so I didn't realize they had worked out there. And I was going to go take this beautiful picture of the, you know, white snow over the field, and I was like, what are all these footprints on the field? And then come to find out they had done a full-blown workout out there that morning. But it looked like, you know, going back to playing when you were a little kid in the snow, playing football out there, if you saw the video, they just looked like they were full of so much joy. It was so much fun, which is always, this time of year can be a grind. It's hard. I mean, it is really hard. This is a hard time of the year. A lot of things that are built during this time, but to be able to kind of take a step away from that, they still put in a lot of hard work, but to kind of have a different scenery kind of made things fun for them on Friday.
Yeah, it's monotonous right now. There's no game to get excited and look forward to. That's so far in the future. You need moments, I think, to kind of break the tension, change the routine of constantly going to the weight room first and then the Hawks and doing all your work inside there. So to get outside and like you said, be a kid, I think that's important. And I think this staff understands that. You have to try to change things up from time to time. And so that was fun to see. My guess is they were pretty excited about doing that because they could go out there and slide around a little bit. But, hey, also, we know we play in the Big Ten Conference. Pretty good chance you're going to play a snow game at some point in time. Maybe not in every season, but before your career's over in Nebraska, you're probably going to play a game in the snow.
Greg, just got a text from Denny in Omaha, was asking about, it seemed like you and Ben at times were a little aggravated with San Diego, but there's kind of some kinks being worked out with a few of the pitch count and all of that. Like, I mean, what was that like, I guess, overall through the weekend with some of the things that were changed just with the rules and all of that?
Yeah, the pitch clock is a big change for everybody in college baseball. We saw examples of it, particularly Friday, Saturday, of guys that a couple times there were balls awarded because the pitcher wasn't ready to the batter, and a couple times some batters weren't ready to hit, and so there were strikes put against their count. In fact, Bryce Matthews was called out on strikes without even seeing a pitch because he wasn't ready to hit. But, yeah, the San Diego coach, he was on the field a lot. We talked quite a bit about this. I don't know that I've ever seen a head coach on the field as much as their coach was during the weekend, and there were some interesting things. I'm not quite sure what games he was playing, but hey, baseball's kind of that. You're trying to get into other people's heads, do semantics and that type of thing, and it was very odd during the week. And yet it was Nebraska's coach and Will Bolt who got thrown out of a game yesterday arguing some calls. But this one's behind us, got to move on, and I'm not sure I really would care to see this team play again.
Was it weird with the pitch count for you?
a little bit because we couldn't see the clock. The only clock in this ballpark was behind home plate, so we couldn't see it. So we didn't. You have to kind of watch the umpires to see some of their mechanics to see if a ball gets called or a strike gets called against the batter. So it took us a little while to pick all that up. I think at Haymarket Park we will have the ability to see the pitch clocks. We'll probably know better when it happens there. But at this ballpark, that was not the case. It was right behind home plate.
One other thing, I guess, to get to, Clearwater Invitational Softball, well, they had a couple of tough games, but I love the way they responded to Virginia Tech and A&M, and then they battled. It was more competitive, I guess, after. You got a little worried maybe after those opening days with Oklahoma State, which Oklahoma State is one of the best teams in the country. There's no doubt about it, and UCLA. But I thought they battled back and responded well, and we saw some good things. And Billy Andrews, once again, at the top of the statistics in the country with home runs to start the season.
Up to 5, I think, now in the year for her. Yeah, they got shell-shocked, I think, Thursday when they played 2 games, UCLA and Oklahoma State, and those are 2 really good teams. But they did. They bounced back, and I think getting the win and being really competitive, even against Arkansas in the Sunday game, was good for them. They go to Las Cruces. They're going to see the Cowgirls again out there this weekend in Las Cruces at New Mexico State. But those are good games for your program to deal with so that you can see how good you have to be, what it takes to play the best teams in the country. I think that will serve Coach Ravel's team well moving forward from here on. And also, you cut away any complacency. If you think you're really good, you can go, wait a minute. You see what happened to us this past weekend? We got a long ways to go to get back up and play consistently with those separate teams. So I think that will do that team really well as they move into the season.
I was told the last time they went to this ballpark out in New Mexico, boy, they lots of balls flying out of the ballpark, so could see more home runs added to the Billy Andrews total this weekend. Travel schedule is a little bit better coming back than it was going out?
It was brutal going out. I got caught in that snowstorm that hit all of us a couple weeks ago. My initial flights were canceled. So, yeah, I get a little more direct flight going back, leave early in the morning, be back in Omaha early afternoon, and we'll be there to join you for the show tomorrow night.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Safe travels. Appreciate it.
You bet. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right. That is Greg Sharpe, and joining us from San Diego. The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. All right, got to work in our first break here of hour number 2, but stick around. Up next, we're going to hear from Derrick Walker following last night's big win over Maryland. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Nebraska has taken over leadership from Princeton University in coordinating the U.S. physics community at the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. For its role, Nebraska has been awarded over $50 million in National Science Foundation grants. This cutting-edge work at the world's largest particle accelerator helps physicists uncover the origins and makeup of the universe.
Shop Woodhouse Hyundai for your next vehicle and enjoy a buying experience that's tailored to you. Whether shopping online or from our showroom, our team will provide a seamless transaction and get you behind the wheel of your new 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe with ease. Plus, we'll even deliver it to you anywhere. And when you shop Woodhouse Hyundai, you can rest easy with Hyundai Shopper Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Start shopping today at WoodhouseHyundaiOfOmaha.com.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student-athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student-athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns for teachers.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Every day, Central Valley Ag helps ranchers give their herds the nutrition they need to deliver healthy calves. CVA's Power Cow tubs are fortified to provide complete nutrition while protecting your bottom line. With supplements like Biomoss, Amafirm, or Avela-4. Learn more online at cvacoop.com. Register to win 2 3015 Power Cow tubs valued at over $300. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. Visit us at the Nebraska Cattlemen's Classic.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Since 1993, Dakota Mac has offered fixed long-term ag real estate loans perfect for any stage of life. The rebellious 15-year loan, the Here for Laundry 20-year loan, and the 30-year loan who thinks they can tell you a thing or two about parenting. Whatever your needs, trust Dakota Mac with your legacy.
Hi, it's Nick Reno from Dakota Mac. Please call me at 308-380-7564 to learn all about our competitive rates on ag real estate loans.
Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. All right, we're going to keep talking men's basketball because, man, it's just such a fun win, and why not? They are on a roll. It's been an incredible story. The way they've come together, not a lot of people would have counted them into getting to where they are right now and winning 3 in a row and 4 of their last 5, and they've got it rolling right now. So big win last night against 70-66 in overtime over Maryland. Derrick Walker had a game. Boy, he just took over at one point. 23 points, 3 blocks, a steal, 6 assists, 7 rebounds, 9 of 11 from the free throw line. And so afterwards, I got a chance to chat with Derrick Walker, but also if you're watching on our YouTube stream, you're going to see in the second question, we get interrupted by one head coach, Matt Rule, who was really excited about the win afterwards. So here is Derrick Walker. How did that feel, walking off that court just now?
Amazing. Amazing. To hear the fans cheering, it was a complete game for all of us. You know, a lot of guys stepped up. And, you know, we love the fans, and they were here for us tonight, and this year has just been awesome just because of them.
How are you standing right now?
Hurt. I am tired. A little banged up, but, you know.
Here we go, nice.
I'm tired, but I'm happy. You know, my guys put it out. We played hard. You know, we ought to check on Greasel. He said I elbowed him in the sternum, but he said it was worth it. But I'm just happy that we got that win, especially in overtime against a really good team that just beat Purdue, a team that's number 3 in the nation. So I'm proud of my guys, and I'm proud of everyone that stepped up.
You really took over, especially when they were trying to take Casey out of it, the shooters out of it. At what point did you realize, okay, I got to make this happen? We
were getting a little stagnant on offense, and I'll take my chances going to the hole, and I don't know. It was just a moment where I was like, if we not getting nothing, so I got to go. And my team looks at me for those opportunities, and then I think once I start doing it, I think Sam Greasel got a couple, and people start to settle it in and start making their moves and getting shots. So I don't know. I just made a decision to just get the ball and go.
How bad did you want it? Because it looked like you were just refusing. You were not going to let this team lose this game.
I wanted it badly. We've been talking about how important this game was. We've been talking about how important postseason is for us. And I believe that we can win. I believe that we can beat any team in the Big Ten. And I didn't want this game to go, and my teammates didn't either. So there was no way I was going to lay down and let them win the game.
You guys are shorthanded. You got so many guys stepping up. Sam Hoiberg with a big steal. I mean, what can you say about some of these guys that are stepping up and doing whatever they need to do to help you guys win?
They're amazing, and that's basketball. You're always hit with adversity, and I'm so proud of Jamarcus, Denham, Sam, Blaze, everyone that stepped up and contributed to the game, because even if they're starting or not starting, we need them. We need each and every one on the team, and they've done nothing but learn, have good attitudes, and they're winners, and they want to win, and they want to do whatever it takes to win. So I'm proud of them because we needed them to step up. We called on them to step up, and that's what they did. They delivered.
Sometimes with basketball teams, you just feel something different, something special in the locker room. It feels like this is what this team's got going on. I mean, how special does it feel right now? The chemistry, the culture, just how everybody's locked into each other right now.
It's very special, Everyone loves each other. Everyone gets along. There's never been headbutting in our locker room. Especially we got older and young guys. So the young guys learn from the old guys, and we learn from them, and we keep them confident. We keep them mentally okay, as some of them never been through a college season, So with them trying to figure out how to play this game and how to find themselves, they're amazing, because they embrace everything we put on them. It's a heavy load, and some of them are not used to it, but they're taking it on and they're delivering. And like I said, they want to do everything to win, and we believe that we believe we can win. We're a tight team. We talk all the time. We get along. So we just have really good chemistry.
Hey, free throws today. How about your free throws?
Yeah. Probably the best I've shot all year. As everyone knows, I've struggled from the free throw line this year, but I had the confidence to knock those down today, especially when we needed them. And then, my teammates did so as well, especially in that overtime. So I'm just happy that I can give us that boost from the free throw, and it's probably the best we shot all year as a team from the free throw. So, yeah.
I got to ask you about Casey and just the streak that he's been on, 5 straight of 20-plus.
Yeah, that's Casey. Everyone's surprised, but I've known Casey for a couple of years now, and I know that he can score the ball at will. He's an amazing kid. He's special. And sometimes I don't know how he does the stuff he does. He's not the biggest kid, not the strongest kid, but he has that confidence every day that he's going to make a shot, he's going to make tough lays, and he believes no one can guard him. And I believe no one can guard him, And with that combination, it gets dangerous, because I believe he's going to knock everything down. Casey's one of those guys that he gets mad when he misses. Like, he thinks he's making everything. And I love that for him.
And then just finally, how do you guys close out? You got, 2 big ones left at home and then 1 on the road. I mean, how do you feel about where this team's at approaching the final stretch of the season?
We just got to take it game by game. We can't be thinking about postseason. We can't think about nothing else but the next opponent. We got to get our bodies right for that, and we got a game plan, and we got to take it serious, and we got to come in and play hard and get a crowd another show, because the season's not over yet. We got games to play, and we can't count ourselves in now. We're still hungry, and we want to win.
Last thing, what do you have to say to Husker Nation for the way they've been showing up for you guys?
We love you guys. Thank you. Go Big Red.
Man, what a stretch. And you've been producing these games, and you're a big basketball guy. Who has impressed you the most in the way they've stepped up into their role?
I mean, obviously, Casey, 4 games in a row, over plus 20. This guy is electric to watch, and he is just a playmaker. Something that was so fun, Jess. So this weekend, on my birthday, February 17th, I went to the Bryce McGowan's kid camp, and that was amazing. It was a great experience for these young kids to see Bryce, take pictures, get autographs from him. But at one point, Casey had a 2 times longer line signing autographs than Bryce McGowan's, and I kid you not. There was so many young kids, everyone, it went around the corner. People want Casey's autograph, Casey. And people are like, hey, Bryce is right here. We'll get him later. They said, we'll get Casey. And that's crazy to me. He's put a spark in electricity in this team and everything of this end, and I'm all for it.
How about even Steph Curry getting in on the Casey love last week? That's
so awesome. That is so awesome. And I mean, he's wearing number 32. What's better than that, Jess? I mean, that is so cool. The story, it's bread and butter. I love it. Who's somebody for you that's been very impressive for you that you think?
I think it's hard not to say Sam Hoiberg because we talked a lot, and again, I'll have that full conversation out with him on our platforms after the show. But, he talked a lot about how he knew he had confidence and playing on the scout team and how hard he's worked. He was confident that he could play at this level. It was just a matter of getting his opportunity. And so I think he knew, and obviously his teammates knew that he could play at this level, but I don't think we knew because we just hadn't seen it. So I think, and boy, there were times when he left the court yesterday that things kind of started to come unravel. He just does so many good things that even don't always show up on the stat sheet, his defense and all of that. I'm with you. I think just Casey getting the opportunity. I've loved CJ's approach even when he doesn't score, if he's not playing, how he supports his teammates. There's been, the list goes on and on and on. But yeah, I think it's more so guys just embracing the opportunity and doing their part. And that's what makes special teams do special things, is when they all come together and don't care who's doing what on any given night. They're just doing their job, and that's what's happening right now. And so hopefully they can keep it rolling. Next game for them coming up Saturday against Michigan State, right? Michigan State? Minnesota's up next, then Michigan State. Speaking of, what a way for you to finish you got an announcement you want to tell Husker fans?
I am going to tell Husker fans this will sadly be my last week with the Huskers radio network. I want to say thank you to everybody who supported me and threw all their marbles on the table for me, because you didn't have to. I was a 22-year-old kid when I got here, and I feel like I'm a grown man now. It really has made me be the man I am today, with me running the football board right when I got here, me doing the men's basketball board when I got here. I had an opportunity to work with an NBA team in the Milwaukee Bucks and their G League team, and I decided to take it. I think that's an amazing opportunity for me. My dream is to work in the NBA, and that's exactly what I want to do. Before I got with college, I said, I want to be the youngest producer in Nebraska history, and I think that's what I did here. And now I want to say I want to be the youngest NBA rep, G League rep that I can be, and keep gaining my experience. But this place will always be a huge home to me, and I love everyone here. It was nobody here. This was just me thinking about myself for my next move and what I want to do for my dream. But I said I can always 100% see myself coming back here a little later. But I'll get more into talking. I'm going to co-host a little bit on Thursday with Jess, and I'll get really deep into my thank yous to everyone and personally deep dive into a lot of that. But that was just my basics of saying on Monday today I wanted to let people know that this will be my last week with Nebraska. But again, every love to everybody who supported me and did everything they had to when they didn't have to. So that is my announcement that I have, but I will always bleed Husker Red and go Big Red forever.
The chat is not happy with you. I mean, Andy Harris, Andrew both, no! Andrew, what? I'm so mad. No, Andrew. Andrew leaving is, Children of the Corn said Andrew leaving is like Titanic. But then Andy came back and said, chase your dreams, kid, and Jim Briggs, you will be missed for sure. So yeah, they're not happy, but happy for you. It's bittersweet. We're so excited for you. This is your dream. You get to chase your dream. But listen, we didn't even talk that you were going to make that announcement today, but I felt like it's not an announcement we could just drop on people on Thursday and just be like, oh, by the way, I'm done. So, hey, here it is. This is Andrew's last week. He'll be on and involved with Sports Nightly throughout the rest of this week. We've got shows, and he's going to help me out on Thursday. Greg will be out again on the road with baseball, so Andrew's going to step in, and we'll dive into a lot more there. But, yeah, I was not going to let you just spring that on people here, so we had to get it out there. But what a way for you to finish, because you've been producing men's basketball since you got here, and what a way for you to finish. What a stretch to end on.
No, 100%, and that's what KP and Jake and we talked about, and it was like, man, these last 3 games were some of the funnest games that I did in 2 years. It was so much fun. The electricity, it felt like I was right next to KP and Jake, and the sweat from KP was dropping on my neck. I was like, this is so awesome, and it was so much fun. And like I said, everyone just brought me in, and it was so much fun just with that run and that streak they had. And I couldn't be happier for the boys and for the HRN, and it was so much fun.
Children of the Corn said at least he has a helmet. You don't have a helmet.
Oh, no, I don't. I was living dangerously.
So he never got that helmet.
Never got it. So yeah, just spurred that on. I didn't know if I was going to say it today. I was like, I didn't know if I was going to go Thursday, because I knew on Thursday I was going to get a very deep depth dive into it. But
we got to give people time to process. Like,
yes.
I mean, you know, it's kind of a shock to the system. So we'll celebrate you all week. I mean, that's what you love anyways. You want us to celebrate the All-American soccer, golf, the best athlete to come out of Kansas ever. So we're going to celebrate you all week. You also had your birthday last weekend, so happy birthday too. All right, we got to work in another break here on Sports Nightly. Keep it here. Going to talk some women's hoops coming up next. Keep it here on Sports Nightly. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
My husband and I love to live in Nebraska.
It's the good life.
We always vacation here.
Love those Nebraska state parks.
We love to eat here.
Where are you going to get a better steak?
And we love to play here, especially Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery. It has a $50,000 starting jackpot, drawing 7 days a week, and all the proceeds go back to our state.
Hey, honey, this weekend, let's buy some Nebraska Pick 5 tickets, go to a state park, and grill some steaks.
Like our first date.
I'm no amateur.
Top prize odds 1 in 501,000.
Super move, but misses a 3-footer. And the rebound, Izzy Bourne dribbles out of the double team. Kroll, top of the key. 3! You betcha! Off the assist from Izzy Bourne.
Hey Husker fans, on Wednesday, join Matt Coatney and Jeff Griesch on the HRN as the women's basketball team matches up with Illinois. Coverage begins at 6:45 p.m. following an abbreviated edition of Sports Nightly. Tune in to your local affiliates or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of these 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. 402-413-2400 if you want to be a part of the show. Still a couple of segments left here if you want to hop on with us. I did want to take some time and talk about women's hoops and the crowd on hand on Saturday. We've talked a lot about the crowd inside Pinnacle Bank Arena and the atmosphere and how much that helped the men propel to a win on Sunday over Maryland. But I have to go back and, just give a huge shout out and just I just got to brag on Husker Nation for a little bit because, last summer when we started our Title IX series, I had Amy Williams on for a podcast, and she had talked about how, one of their goals is they wanted to sell out Pinnacle Bank Arena. And I don't even think she meant this season. I just think maybe eventually, and I don't think it was something that she had set in stone. It's just something that they threw out there that they wanted to sell out Pinnacle Bank Arena. And we just said, hey, let's try it. Let's do it. And so, we kind of made a push for it over the last few months about wanting to pack PBA for the game against Iowa. And Husker Nation answered the call, 14,289, which set a program record. More people in that building to watch a women's basketball game in Lincoln than has ever been done. And I got to tell you, I got to be honest, starting lineup, well, first of all, when the team ran out, they ran out to Red Kingdom. And I just had chills all over. And then when they started to announce the starting lineup and then tip off, I had tears coming down my face. And you can ask, there's Caleb Henry to my left and then Evan Townsend, who works with us with HAP. Both of them were sitting next to me, and they can attest this. I had tears because I was overcome with emotion because the entire lower bowl was packed, and there were people all up to the rafters, and that's what it's all about. I was so happy for that team to get to play in front of a crowd like that, to see that place packed, and for them to get to experience that. I was so happy for them, and it's just, that's what it's all about, and that's why I keep saying this, and it's why I love it here so much, is the way that Husker Nation supports their women's sports, and they support all their sports, but the way that they showed out for the women on Saturday, Saturday, and I know a lot of the players and Coach Williams posted about it on their social media, how much it meant to them and how much they appreciated it. So, again, thank you, Husker Nation. Thank you so much for answering the call and giving that kind of atmosphere for those women to be able to play in front of. Yeah, let's keep it rolling. They got another big one coming up, Senior Day, on Sunday, February 25th against Northwestern, the regular season finale. And let's face it, now, you know, the not so pretty thing is that the teams lost 4 in a row, and they, as of the last official bracketology that's come out, they are on the bubble. They are the last 4 out, but they still have an opportunity. They can still get back into the NCAA tournament conversation, and they've got a couple big ones left. On the road at Illinois on Wednesday, and then back at home, last regular season and Senior Day. So a player like Sam Hybe and what she's meant to this program going to be honored on Sunday. So show out one more time for this women's basketball team. Right now, currently the 8th seed, and so, you know, I think right now, the way that if it ended right now, which still some things to play out, both with the Huskers and the teams that are ahead of them, but it looks like right now they'd play Michigan State in that 8-9 matchup in the Big Ten tournament, which would be that 11:30 a.m. game on Thursday. They will have the first day bye, but Illinois is a team that's in the NCAA tournament currently. They are a 9 seed, so this would be, you know, a good resume builder if they could get a win on the road. They just, you know, struggled from the 3-point against Iowa. Iowa's a really good team, and they are hard to get behind and get back into because they score. They're the #1 scoring offense in the nation, and they were just shooting lights out. They do a lot of times when they're out on the court, but just they were shooting it really well, and the Huskers were not. 7 of 33 from 3-point. This is a team that shoots it better from 3. They just did not have it going, but I know they would have wanted to do something special in front of that crowd, but even still, I know it meant the world to this program, and let's do it one more time coming up on Sunday against Northwestern. All right, going to work in our final break here of our hour number 2 here of Sports Nightly. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back to wrap up the show next.
Nebraska women's basketball offers one of the best values in all of Husker sports, with single-game reserve tickets at Pinnacle Bank Arena for just $15. Adult general admission seating is just $10, while youth and senior general admission tickets are $5. Children 6 and under are just $1. Plans now to bring your whole family to Husker women's basketball for Big Ten home games in January and February. Get your tickets and the full schedule at Huskers.com.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
First Interstate Bank, built for you. Learn more at www.firstinterstatebank.com. Member FDIC. Final segment here of Sports Nightly on this Monday evening. Breaking news just posted to the Husker football Twitter account. They have posted the spring schedule. So spring break is March 12th through the 19th. Spring ball begins on the 19th. Practice number 1 on March 20th. They'll have 20th, 21st, have off day 23rd, 25th, 28th, and 30th. Those will be practices 1 through 6th, and then April 1st, 4th, 6th, 11th, 13th, 15th, 18th, 20th, and then with the spring game coming up on April 22nd. So if you want to check out that full schedule, it is now out, just posted a couple minutes ago on the Husker football Twitter account, but officially practice number 1 coming up March 20th. So they are going to wait till after spring break to get this thing rolling. All right, time now to take a look at what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. We talked in the last segment, women's basketball on the road, back in action at Illinois on Wednesday, 7 o'clock. We'll have the call for you right here with Matt Coatney, Jeff Greesh, 6:45 pregame show. We got beach volleyball at the Wayne State Championship Center, or at the Hawks Center, at 8 a.m. And then we've got track and field Big Ten Indoor Championships this weekend, Friday and Saturday. And men's basketball back in action on Saturday against Minnesota. And let's see, what else we got here? What else am I missing? Men's gymnastics on the road at the Winter Cup, and women's gymnastics at home this weekend as well. So this is crossover season. Welcome to crossover season. This is the craziest time of the year. So again, that's what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. All right, got a couple of minutes left. Andrew, weekend winner, go.
You're actually going to go first because I forgot about this segment.
What?
So, yep. So you got to go.
All right,
I'm
I'll
going to
go
go right on the spot right now.
I'll go. If I wouldn't have talked about it so much last segment, I would have given it up to Husker Nation for the way they showed up and showed out for the basketball teams on Saturday and Sunday. But to spread the love a little bit, I got to go with Lenny Pinto, Huskers 184-pounder with a pin. Boy, it looked like he was about to get pinned. And somehow, I don't know, he maneuvered his way off the mat, ends up getting a pin. Devaney goes crazy. It was awesome. And then he broke social media. It was unbelievable. So Lenny Pinto is my weekend winner at 184, getting the pin. Liam Cronin also had a big top 10 win over the weekend. Had to win in sudden victory on senior night. He's had a heck of a career. So Husker Wrestling doing big things. Much more to come from them. Regular season in the books, but they got Big Tens and then NCAA championships coming up. But I'll give my weekend winner to Lenny Pinto.
Okay, so I just thought of something on the spot. So my weekend winner, I'm going to go Eric Bieniemy, the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator. I think a lot of people don't talk about him a lot just because of Mahomes and Andy Reid, but he's a genius. That guy can call up plays. He can do what he wants, and he just got a deal with the Washington Commanders. So he will be the next OC for the Washington Commanders, and I can't be proud for that guy. He deserves a coaching job, but he decided to do what's best for him, and I love it, and that's my weekend winner.
All right. I like it. Man, this 2 hours just flew by. It was fun, though. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We got a full 2 hours coming up tomorrow. Greg Sharpe hopefully will be back. He'll be back in studio, and we got a fun hour planned for you. We're going to hear from assistant volleyball coach Jalen Reyes will be here in studio. We got quite a few shows this week, and we got fun things planned throughout this entire week. And it's Andrew's goodbye week, so of course we'll be celebrating that all week. But again, thanks to Fred Hoiberg for joining us here in hour number 1. And boy, that's just been so fun to follow this men's basketball team. We'll keep it rolling starting this Saturday. And thanks to Andrew for helping me out here over these last couple hours. And thanks to you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow night right here on Sports Nightly.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You ain't seen nothing. This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. Like the Ford F-150 or the all-new Ford Super Duty. Or check out Ford Maverick and Ford Ranger pickups. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. There's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. Based on 1977's 2022 calendar year total sales.
My husband and I love to live in Nebraska.
It's the good life.
We always vacation here.
Love those Nebraska state parks.
We love to eat here.
Where are you going to get a better steak?
And we love to play here, especially Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery. It has a $50,000 starting jackpot, drawing 7 days a week, and all the proceeds go back to our state.
Hey, honey, this weekend, let's buy some Nebraska Pick 5 tickets, go to a state park, and grill some steaks.
Like our first date.
I'm no amateur.
Top prize odds 1 in 501,000.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sap Brothers. For over 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www